following video may contain content parents may find unsuitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hey everybody, it's Hunger again, and welcome to the weekly podcast, where we sometimes play Minecraft in the background, in between talking about whatever crosses Aquan's brain. So let me go ahead and get into the voice chat with everybody, because that's why everybody's here, right?
Come in, you royal boob!
Alright, why are there llamas? Alright, I'm here. Solus is here in chat with me so far. And why do you have llamas?
Llamas? With me flying in the castle. Also, sick out.
There's Caps.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, he's got the Devastators. It's freaking Devastator. Come, Hot Rod, look! Devastator.
Oh. So we have our audience, Souls the Demon, and our commentator, Hunger the Let's Play.
Yeah, well,
Now all we need is our main contender for the podcast.
Aquan is AWOL. How dare he?
AWOL, yep. Okay.
How
What? Seriously,
dare
what
Prism
llamas
or Reggie Quan do this to me? I'm just kidding.
No, seriously, why did llamas just spawn?
I don't know.
Wait, hang on.
It's the circle of life. Oh, look, dead ender dragon. Now the thumbnail's not quick, wait. Alright, anyway.
Yeah.
Ah! I fell! It was terrible! Give me that XP right now.
Holy shit.
Alright. What are we doing? Running? Yes, running is good. Running. Oh, I have a bunch of bricks. Hell yeah. Good times will be had by all. Alright, let's hit the bricks. Alright. Alrighty then, so Siege sent me an article, I think it was from Destructoid, talking about how, it's in the article, okay, it says that the Wii U is going to be discontinuing its support for Crunchyroll, or vice versa. Crunchyroll will be discontinuing their Wii U app as of the 29th of this month. Now,
That's a pain in the ass.
yeah, like with the Wii U right now is the primary way that I watch Crunchyroll. But the article said something that I found really interesting. It said that Crunchyroll had already sent an email to their Wii U users telling them that this was going to happen, and I got nothing. Like I said, 99.9% of my Crunchyroll viewing is on the Wii U. And I got absolutely nothing from these people, so I call shenanigans. Anyway,
Yeah.
I checked my spam folder too, didn't find it. So either they sent it like so long ago that my spam folder automatically deleted it, or they just didn't send it. Anyway,
Or maybe
just a thought, like you would think like they would be telling me like every freaking month.
Podcast is
Yeah.
Aquan. Hello.
Oh, Aquan's here.
Yes.
Oh, now the
We have
podcast
a
can really get
podcast
started.
contender.
All right. Oh, we'll just
Let's all listen quickly. Oh, wait. You left.
he left. The original Prism.
Why'd you leave?
Still can't wait. Hello?
Yeah.
Why'd you leave?
My phone's a piece of crap. Or Discord had a new update for mobile, and it's terrible.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Well, now that you're here, let's get on to the main event.
Prism
Talk
Origi
about-
Duck is here.
Podcast. I'm just kidding. But yeah.
It's
But no,
podcast time.
Oh, by the way, I right before I started your streaming, I unlocked the Dark Assembly of Disgaea 5. And so I proved a few things. I proved the cheat sheet by got some better items at the shop, and I also did this feature that's pretty cool, and I don't know why it's not in Disguise 6, but it's give an item to a friend, and I had 2 friends that have Disgaea 5, apparently, because 2 friends that I could give items to you and to someone else who I do not remember adding to my Switch. I mean, I do recognize the name. It sounds familiar, but I think it was someone I added on my Switch years ago.
It may have been somebody that you added during the Pokemon streams or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
I know it wasn't someone from that. I think it was someone who I added in like 2019 or something.
Maybe it was someone from your high school a few years ago.
It could have been someone I knew in high school, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, so I sent you an item. I don't know what item it sent you, but it sent you an item.
Wait, they can send you items online? What?
That's interesting. It's a feature in Disgaea 5 that lets you send items to people.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could send you anything good since I'm really in the game. And
That makes the game better, actually.
I just beat episode 2, so.
Yeah, I wonder if
You
it is
said you were
anything
stuck
good.
at one of the events in chapter 2.
I mean, the thing is, I couldn't find out how to get into chapter 2 until someone in the Disgaea server told me, hey, you have to talk to all the printies until you get information. And I'm like, wow, I did not expect having to talk to printing. They're so useless.
Yeah, I actually got stuck there for a bit too. Like, it was kind of
Yeah,
a pain in the ass.
I wasn't expecting to have to talk to the printies. Like, I talked to everyone but the printies.
Right.
You have to talk to all the hutches.
Or there's like a certain printy you have to talk to, not all of them. The princes.
You gotta talk
But
to
yeah.
the Hutch Prinny. Anyway.
All the hutches.
Yeah. I do have to say though, I will say this right now. I'm liking Disgaea 5 already a lot more than Disgaea 6 so far.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean Disgaea 6 is a bad game, because I still like
right.
Disgaea 6. It's just, I don't know, the story seems a lot more in depth.
In depth, yeah.
Yeah, no, the story for
also
Disgaea 6 is nice and everything, but Disgaea 5 has a much more emotional narrative, I think. It's just, like I said, nothing knocking Disgaea 6, but, like, Disgaea 6, gameplay-wise, I think is superior to all the others just because of all the cool features that it added for, like, auto-grinding and whatnot. And how high the level cap goes and all that good stuff, but when it comes to the whole story thing, Disgaea 6 kind of falls flat in terms of the number of different character models and a few other categories, but anyway.
Yeah, there aren't that many unique characters in Disgaea 6.
Yeah.
There's like 7 characters or something.
Yeah, well, there's
like
the number of characters in the party is pretty much normal, but like I'm talking about like in Disgaea 5, there's like tons of different styles of monster that you can recruit. So it's
I see what you mean. Like there are, because I saw I was looking at something that was like I guess like a bestiary that shows you all the different characters and silhouettes. I was scrolling through and there was like around 30 or so regular characters, and then the imported characters there was a whole bunch as well.
Right.
And knowing Disgaea, there's going to be some cameos, because I saw someone said something about when I got to the boss of episode 2, she was like, or the one who creates the boss or revives him. She said, "Have you seen a small girl riding a yellow prinny?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, that's a DLC character I have in Disgaea 6." So
that's
she's in this game.
Yeah, Usalia is one of the main cast from Disgaea 5.
I figured because I know the main protagonist of this game. They were both connected to each other in the DLC stories for Disgaea 6.
Right. Well, Usalia is a cute little bunny girl who uses Plip at the end of her sentences, and
bunny girl.
and she's also Naruto.
Naruto.
She's on my team in Disguise 6. Also,
No. What, do you mean she is Naruto or acts like Naruto?
So, she has a thing that she does where she goes completely berserk, and it looks like Naruto in Biju mode, where where she's just like launching huge bombs at everything, and like and she's completely feral and nobody can touch her. You know, like.
Yeah. Okay. Can we please stop?
Doesn't she like wield a gun?
Episode 2.
Does she wield a gun?
No.
No,
she has a hammer.
Oh, a hammer.
I know she has a hammer because I've used her
Yeah.
on Disguise 6. But
I'm thinking of
Hey, Tape Shut Studios is here. Also, Hutch is rambling about some random nonsense in the chat. Something about Pidgeys and shit. But anyway.
You shut up. I'm trying to say that I do not want spoilers for Disgaea 5.
Midnight. All right.
There.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. It's okay, because I've used her a bit on Disgaea 6, but as soon as I
yeah, I was thinking of a different
all the XP characters and did a bit of auto battle grinding, which again is another good thing about Disgaea 6 is the auto battles. They're really good for grinding.
Right.
The music.
Also the fact
I got
that
music going. It's just really quiet.
Also the fact that characters all level up after after the match rather than in it.
Disgaea 5 and Disgaea 6 have really good XP gain mechanics. Disgaea 4 kind of lacks in that department. Like, one of the things I noticed in Disgaea 5 is the healers were leveling up faster than everybody else because they get a lot more XP for healing in that game. Because in the regular in like Disgaea 4, for example, the healers are like always like way behind everybody else because they spend most of their time healing and not attacking. So they don't get as much XP. Like, they still get XP for healing, but not as much as they would need to offset the fact that they're not getting that much for attacking. So my healers on my team in Disgaea 4 tend to be kind of behind everybody else, but it's the opposite in Disgaea 5 because I think they kind of overcompensated by giving the healers way more experience than everybody else.
I've noticed that for now. I've noticed that so far.
So you'll kind of notice that. Like, that's not a spoiler. That's just a gameplay quirk.
Yeah.
So Disgaea 6, what they did was they just said, oh, let's give a shit ton of XP to everybody at the end of every battle, and then raise the level cap to the ceiling. So
yeah, level cap is like 99,999,999, whereas in the other Disgaeas, the level cap is, I mean, it's still pretty high, you know.
Usually quad 9s, but yeah.
Yeah, like 9,999. You usually don't see that in many RPGs. Like, most RPGs, characters, usually in JRPGs like Final Fantasy, Pokemon, stuff like that, characters max out at like level 100 or 99.
Yeah, level 99 or 100, but like, Disgaea 1 was the first one to say, hey, you know what, to level cap, quad 9s, like...
Like, Disgaea is kind of just like, hey, what if we took an SRPG and made it super anime, even more anime than Fire Emblem?
Right.
Like, so anime that the characters go like Dragon Ball, like in terms of power creep.
It's like, what if we took a game and made it super anime-like, but also comedic at the same time?
Right.
Yeah. I'd say Disgaea 6, they all have good comedy, but what I've noticed so far is Disgaea 5 hasn't had as much comedy as Disgaea 6 from the beginning. It's got more of a serious storyline. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a nice change of pace. Like, there's still some comedy here and there, like Seraphina shooting the pretties and killing the
She shoots people constantly. That's like her way of expressing anger. She's like a total
tsundere, and she also she's very tsundere for Killia. I mean, it's obvious.
She is so tsundere for Killia. It's really obvious.
I've noticed it from the beginnings. It's like she uses all other men under her control, but with Killia, she's like more. Also, I found out the secret about Seraphina, that you can give her that bunny suit.
Yep.
The bunny suit.
You can put her in a bunny outfit. Yes, like the Playboy bunny style bunny outfit.
I put her in that, and the maid said, it
only makes her wear it while she's in the base, though.
Sadly. but it's still
You know
it's still nice.
You know what I think the best thing about Sky 5 is?
What?
Yandering maids.
Oh yeah,
the maids, yeah.
yeah. You can. There are two. What I've found so far, there are two yandere characters.
It's based
or
on
characters
Gasai,
in
it's
the
amazing.
game. Knowing Disgaea, I'm not surprised they involved yanderes in the game, but it's all the more better. All the more better because it adds to the anime aspect.
You showed me
and,
that one of the skins was based on Gasai, and I fucking love
I mean,
it.
I assumed it was based. I named her because she had. I
mean, you
skin
assume
the
it
yandere,
looks
so I don't know if it's based on I mean, it could be a reference, but
it looks like her. It looks a little.
I mean, there aren't that many pink-haired crazy girls in anime,
Yeah,
so
this guy is definitely something that does do a lot of references, so it wouldn't really
and I love
surprise me.
that. You know what? I'm all for games full of references. It's one of my favorite things about Clover. Aside from being just a really good ROM pack,
I love a lot of
there's so many references in that game.
Yeah.
Like,
See, the original Disgaea game has references to like so much crap, and then it's got its own unique brand of humor on top of that. So like, there's a reference to Flash Gordon and Robbie the Robot, and from Lost in Space,
like,
and like the,
yeah.
you know,
Speaking of references, there are a lot of item description references. Like in Disgaea 6, there's a bow. I forgot what bow it was, but it says like "shot through the heart" or something like that. That song, like.
Yeah, no, they will put all kinds of funny descriptions on the items too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's like in Disgaea 5, there's this like wrestler you meet at the beginning of the game, and I swear he's a reference to Hulk Hogan because he says "brother" a lot.
Yeah,
like,
no, his dialogue, like all of his dialogue at the beginning, he's definitely a Hulk Hogan reference. You know.
Yeah,
they made his voice sound like him too. It's just I'll throw you all.
Yeah, Hunger, do you ever plan to play Live Alive? Like, I don't really know any spoilers for the game per se, but I was looking at the game's page and I saw a character design that looks very interesting.
Yeah. So as far as Live Alive is concerned, honestly, for right now, it's just going to kind of get lost in the shuffle. So I haven't decided to pick it up yet. I do think it would be probably would be worth playing, but like I said, right now my plate is just so full of stuff I can't potentially I can't really see a spot where I can put it.
I've
got to finish the post game on Disgaea 4, and then I've got Digimon Survive that I got to take care of. Got to finish Omega Labyrinth.
Yeah.
I gotta at some point hopefully finish Monster Rancher 2, although I've never once beaten that game because it takes like in order to quote unquote beat the game, you have to beat the big 4 S-ranked monsters in the game. But you have to get your monster to the point where it can actually fight them first, and usually the monster ends up dead before that happens. So it's just kind of really difficult to raise a monster to be that strong. So I'm gonna need to kind of get a good monster and then sort of work with it,
Yeah. And going back to like the Disgaea crap is like one thing I will say about Disgaea 6 that's kind of annoying when it comes to grinding, at least in the post game, like the true post game, is I've been grinding so much just to fight Ball because I have to keep on grinding. So I've been grinding against
the final boss
against Super Sage Visual. I've been grinding against him multiple times, over and over and over again with the max level cheat shop thing at 1000 for XP, having the rank put all the way to level 20 in terms of difficulty. Like, I'm not finding him with Carnage difficulty, screw that, but level 20 in the star ranks, it's been giving me a nice amount of XP. I've been getting around 16 million XP every time I defeat him. And with the DLC tickets, I don't really buy them. I mean, they're like 99 cents. There was the one that came with my season pass. I was getting something like 142 million per defeat on visual from that.
Yeah.
But the grind has been pretty annoying because I have to keep reincarnating, grinding, reincarnating to get my hit stats very high because Ball has an insane evasiveness.
Okay,
like,
so you're kind of doing it wrong. All right.
Oh.
Here's what you need to be doing. Get a emblem, like any emblem, like your freaking feather tokens, imperial seals, whatever. Go to the item world and grind the shit out of those.
Oh right, yeah, I've been doing that. I've been using the item world as well. Like I use the item world. So right, I unlocked
you're going to get much higher stat gains off of grinding a good emblem than you would off of leveling. So if you get the right emblem, it's going to do a much better job of raising your stats than just leveling will.
Yeah, that kind of does make sense because I recently mastered Zed's. I recently mastered Zed's skills in fist weapons, and I unlocked ultimates for him. And I've been using that in the item world, right? I got it to like level 56, and I'm getting like 640,000 in my speed and attack, and all my other stats have been going up pretty high too. Because the ultimate weapons are all stats up, plus the two main ones are really high. I do have an emblem that I have on Zed right now. That's I forgot what it's called, but it gives him at base was giving him like 38,000 into all stats. So I guess if I grind,
so you want to grind that and get levels on that because it's gonna make him super potent.
That's kind of OP, you're not gonna lie.
Right. So that's what you want to do. And the other thing on that is one of the things that happens is a lot of the time when you're grinding on an emblem for a long time, you'll find out that you get more of them like in item drops, like from bonuses. As you grind them.
Yeah,
so.
I've also been finding the item shops in the item world are really good. Like getting items from every 10 floors, buying like rare stuff.
Yeah. So I got some questions in chat here. So right now in voice chat, we've got Aquan and Soulless the Demon, or as well as myself. And then Hutch was asking what kind of monsters in Monster Rancher 2. There are 4 S rank monsters. I think one of them is a Joker, similar to the one that I'm raising right now. There's a dragon and a couple more as well. So they're all just really OP monsters that you have to beat in order to finally defeat the game.
Where's Aquan at in the? I have something for him.
Oh.
I'm near that like water house. Anyways, I'm gonna continue.
Yeah, so anyway, I was just answering some questions, but anyway, so yeah, we got there's just a lot of like in Disgaea, you'll find that the item world is probably going to be more helpful than just grinding by itself. So I would definitely recommend using the item world, and then once you get to the point where you can handle Carnage content, the Carnage, like doing item world for Carnage items is your best source of XP as well. Because when you do Carnage, when you do Carnage content, it unlocks Carnage versions of normal items that have way higher stats on them. Like
that's nice.
Like the weapon will actually show up as red, like it'll have like a red tint to it on the menu.
That's cool.
So that's how you know that it's a Carnage weapon, or a Carnage accessory or whatever. So yeah, you can get Carnage accessories and whatnot, and I really do need to work on trying to level some of that stuff up. It's just that right now I'm at this awkward spot where it's like I'm too weak to do Carnage, but too strong for the regular content, you know. So
Yeah.
you know,
So, so you still haven't finished Disgaea 6?
in
I
Disgaea
assume?
6, I haven't completely smeared it yet. Same thing with Disgaea 5. Disgaea 4, I think I will be able to go ahead and finish the whole post game. Just
Yeah.
because my character's kind of over leveled. So.
And I guess Disgaea is it's such a long RPG.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah,
ever be finishing Disgaea 6 and 5 on stream anytime?
probably.
Yeah.
Like I just need to do a ton of grinding, which you know
Yeah.
I don't
Do that
necessarily
all.
want to do on stream, but we'll see what happens. You know.
Especially Disgaea 6. Like with Disgaea 6, you can just leave characters of auto battle and go get like a drink or something to eat while they're auto battling.
To
Like
just eat. I go to sleep. Like just freaking
you just have an
just
auto
dock
grind when
the
you're
damn thing,
sleeping.
put it on auto battle, auto repeat, go freaking sleep. You know.
Yeah.
You-
Just if you wake up and your switch has just melted.
Nah, no, you know, definitely don't want that. But like, you know, it's one of those
Yeah.
things where I will just freaking leave that thing there for a few hours sometimes.
Yeah,
you know.
that's probably one of the best things about this Disgaea 6. Like the fact that you can just like have the game run while you auto battle and auto repeat. Like,
Yeah.
because doesn't auto repeating basically just make it where they like repeat the
They just
stage?
keep doing that same stage over and over and over again until you tell them to stop.
I need to return auto repeat on them because I've just been having them auto battle
Mhm.
and then pressing A few times.
Right.
and
So what you do is you push the start button to set up auto battle, and then while auto battle is on, you push the plus button. You push the plus button to turn on auto battle, right? And then while auto battle is on, you push the minus button and it turns on auto repeat.
Oh, that's so cool! I never knew that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad you told me that because that actually saves me a lot of time. Actually,
Yeah, it's a huge time save. Like,
And then
because
you
you
can-
can just sit there and
to make it even crazier, you can if you've gotten the dark assembly to approve these, you can use like the speed up things.
yeah, you can use all the speed up and turn off the animations and just go ham with it. You know.
Yeah, just get. I'm gonna do that actually. When I get back to my Disgaea 6 post game stuff.
Yeah,
'Cause
it's
it'll really
really
help.
nice. You know, if I didn't have so much other stuff that my Switch was occupied with right now, then I would be doing that more. But,
Yeah. I'm
know,
buying a bunch of shit on my. I'm buying a bunch of games on my Switch, and I'm
Yeah,
just.
I know today you
a lot of
bought
games that
Digimon.
I enjoy.
You bought Digimon Cyber Sleuth today, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
That's a good
Because
collection of
it
new
was, it
games.
was on sale.
dun, dun, it,
Um,
dun, dun, it,
Game
dun, dun, it, dun, dun, it. Cyber Sleuth is such a banger. Oh my gosh,
I love the OST. Also, I think my game just froze.
love that game.
Oh, it usually freezes there.
I'm gonna have to. Oh, never mind. I'm fixed that.
Oh, we're
The
gonna
game
whack you
is
out of.
pretty
I was
good. I have
gonna
no
whack
idea.
you out of concussion. But okay.
He was
Also,
gonna
watch this.
whack your weed, Beavis.
I want to watch this.
Okay.
The C's Cal right here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Whoa. Okay, that's the thing. So what you were trying to launch me into the air with that, but it wasn't doing anything.
It wasn't working with you. I
Huh.
may have borrowed a few of Hunger's yeet spells.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to try that myself.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It doesn't work on players apparently.
Yeah. So what I've been doing though with Super
I
Reincarnation
think
though,
I can yeet you into the air while you're riding a horse.
before I started maxing hit on everyone, I happened to I had always been min maxing my characters because I always do that in RPGs that let me customize stats. Like for Zed, I've been min maxing his attack and his speed because I know that his skills are all scaled on attack and speed. Basically, I've been min maxing everyone to what a majority of their skills are based on.
Yeah.
And all their best skills. And the rest of the stats I've just been putting into the defenses, and for more tanky characters I go, and for my healers I've just literally just been min-maxing HP and defenses because they don't have any attacking moves. So,
Right. Have you been using the juice bar?
Yes, I love the juice bar,
Yeah.
man. It's how I've been getting
So good.
it's how I've been getting the ultimate weapons actually.
Yeah, no, the juice bar is like by far one of the most useful things in there because it really cuts down on the need to reincarnate characters. You do need to reincarnate to it for a certain amount of times, but once you're past that, you really don't need too much more after that.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing it for some demerits and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Once you got all the demerits for reincarnations, you really don't need to anymore.
Yeah. I know Zed does get some stat boosts from reincarnating though.
Yeah, well, Zed has a thing where it actually he has an ability that actually gives him stat boosts for every time he's been reincarnated.
Yeah,
so, and it's a percentage-based boost. So if you keep increasing his stats every time you reincarnate him, and he keeps getting he's getting a percentage-based boost that's like a percent for every time he's reincarnated, it's just stupid.
Yeah, that's why his stats are so high then.
Yeah.
Like my most powerful member.
Yeah,
he's probably the strongest. He has to be the strongest Disgaea character. Like by the time you finish the post.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's kind of with the level cap being higher, it was just kind of predetermined that he was going to be the strongest Disgaea tag.
So there's that, and then there's the fact that he defeats a Super God of Destruction, and there's like the Super God of Destruction just scrunching the surface of how overpowered Zed is. Like his ability, the infinite reincarnation ability.
Oh, the super reincarnation,
I mean, like the one that makes it where you gain like there's the one he starts with, but there's one you unlock as well. That caps at 200%, I think.
Yeah.
At a 200% boost, called like infinite reincarnation or something. Yeah. You unlock it towards the end of the game, but yeah, that's what I meant when I said infinite.
Yeah, no, it's pretty sick. Like Zed has some great stuff with him, so
Yeah, Zed's really cool. Like I said, he's still probably my favorite. So far, he's my favorite Disgaea character, and that's because he's literally just like an edgy shonen protagonist.
Right.
Zed is edgy as fuck. Yeah.
Oh man.
It's basically like
his hacked Pig Knight into Embor, and he has adaptability.
Yeah, okay, so
yes.
Solus was able to confirm this for me, and I had suspicions that that Hutch was playing
Hutch literally in DMs told me that he was playing Volt White 2 the entire time.
He's playing a ROM.
Pokemon White 2 ROM hack.
Yep. It's amazing.
Yeah, I knew he was. You know how I knew he was? Because I played that ROM hack, and when he said he was finding all these legendaries in these certain areas, and he found them all as shiny, and he found a bunch of shiny ones too, I was like, yep, that's Volt White 2, because the game literally gives you, like, you battle them and catch them still, but it makes the shiny ones.
And the funny thing is, those ROM hacks came along with the bootleg cartridge that he bought.
Yeah, he bought one of those bootleg DS cartridges, apparently.
Yeah, and the Blaze Black and Volt White came along with it. Yeah.
But yeah, that's
yeah. It's crazy.
That's really funny.
It really is.
I'm not gonna. All I'm gonna say is it's a bootleg cartridge. It might be bad and it might have a save battery issue, but if it doesn't, then congrats, Hutch. You actually got yourself a really good ROM pack of Pokemon Black 2, White 2. Although it's probably the older version, as there was a more recent version called the Redux, which in a bunch of new moves, it adds in moves budgets on.
Well, in addition to the fact that there's probably tons of sites that have that ROM hack available for free on an emulator.
Yeah, like he paid money for a ROM hack.
Yeah, right? Shit.
Hutch literally did the thing that ROM hackers tell you not to do.
Right.
Yeah.
No offense to him, but
yeah.
He probably doesn't know better. So
he went and done it.
Wait, I thought I needed that baby chicken.
By the way, rip all the people who paid for a physical copy of Clover before the update.
I know, right?
Yeah, everyone who bought the physical. I think there were a few physical copies of Clover being sold on eBay a few years ago.
There totally were. And not even maybe. There definitely were.
I saw some at the store.
Yeah. But then there's people like me who buy a GBA flash cart so we can just play any GBA ROM hack we want in any GBA game. I have a huge library of ROM hacks on my EverDrive. It's insane. It's how I played Clover for the
Oh shit.
millionth time.
You played Clover. My first playthrough of Clover was on VBA on an old
I will
computer.
say the best way to play ROM, if the whole reason people are buying physical ROM hacks is to play them on the go, like just buy a flash card, because first of all, if you buy the flash card, you're actually supporting someone who, like, usually the EverDrive is the best one, but the people who make those flash cards, rather than giving money to someone who's selling a ROM hack that they didn't even make. And then you can just load the ROM hacks that were meant to be free by the creator's intentions, meant to be free to own and play. And you can play them on the go, on your Game Boy Advance, DS Lite, have you, whatever. And you get that authentic experience, but you can play the ROM hacks instead of, like, I don't know, using a smartphone, because smartphone emulators suck.
Yeah, smartphone emulators do suck.
Yeah, I'd say, like, the best way to play GBA ROM hacks is on the EverDrive. The second best way is on computer emulators, but
Yeah.
that's because
Imagine trying to emulate a smartphone. Couldn't be me. Alright.
Yeah,
Right.
couldn't be.
Mainly computer emulators, because those are
Yeah. Actually,
I think.
I know there are some modded GBAs out there that oh yeah, on your hacked Wii.
On your hacked
funny
Wii?
story about that, Caps. Funny story about that. Back in like 2018, when I hacked I had hacked my Wii about a year prior, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a GBA emulator on it. I remember playing Clover for a bit on my hacked Wii, but I didn't get that far because I did not like using the Wii remote to play the game.
Oh,
Like, I
I
was
was
like-
using a Wii remote to play Clover.
Ree! Nintendo Ree.
Nintendo Wii.
GG no Wii?
Nintendo Ree!
Oh, but yeah, anyways, the thing about the Game Boy Advances, people made some modded GBAs that have like backlit screens and everything and rechargeable batteries, like, the original one, because the SP is so small it cramps my hands up. Like,
Yeah.
when I was a Wii child and I had my SP, I played Pokemon Emerald on it all the time and other games.
Said he was
but-
a Wii child.
yeah,
A Wii child? Oh.
Ah!
When I was not born when the Wii came out. I was born before that. But I was a GameCube child, if anything. But yeah,
Yeah.
when I was
Aquan
like
has
a-
a Nintendo Ree.
Nintendo
when I
Wii.
was when I was a Wii child, that rages. But no,
That's better.
when I was playing on it, it wouldn't be uncomfortable. Now it is. I've seen modded GBAs for like the original GBA, which has that really nice like PSP design to it, pretty much that like rectangular design that is like should be done for all handheld devices since the Switch has the PSP had it.
Come back down.
But they add a backlight to it, so it makes it actually possible to play on without having to sit under a light. A rechargeable battery, which is really nice, and even some other features like customizing what colors you want for it. And one of the coolest things they did actually was they built in a clock speed increaser where you can actually increase the clock speed on it up to ×4, I think. So you can actually fast forward in RPGs on a handheld GBA now, which is pretty crazy.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's super expensive, and I'm not gonna buy one. It's like $100 or something, but
Man,
that's what they do all the manual labor.
what
If
a-
you actually know how to like weld stuff or solder stuff, you can buy all the parts separately, and it saves so much money. But I didn't take welding classes in high school, so I'm not gonna bother wasting my money on that.
I'm not gonna take the time to buy all that. I have a working PC that works with a. What is
Yeah,
it?
I was just saying something that I thought was cool. I'm
Yeah,
not
I
in
know.
any way.
It sounds amazing the way you put it, but like I'm not gonna take the time to buy it because I have a
I'm not
PC
in
that
any
works.
way shill. I'm not in any way trying to shill here. I'm just pointing out that it's pretty cool how people have been doing stuff like this these days.
Yeah, it is value based.
I wouldn't have thought it was possible back in the day.
Yeah, but it is. So lucky them.
The power of technology is incredible. That's my favorite Pokemon protagonist. There's
Now
actually a
Now I can shit post with.
Yeah, there's actually a ROM hack where you play as that guy. It's called like Pokemon Fat Kid or something. I don't know.
No.
I saw
Fat Kid.
A streaming it on the Clover server like a
God.
year ago. It was a pretty bad ROM hack, but it
Right.
wasn't like built badly or anything, but it was just bad because it was so stupid.
Right.
Pokemon Fat Kid. A ROM hack for Rude Dolphin. I mean,
Damn.
Damn, son. It had some pretty cool stuff in it though, like programming wise, it was a pretty good ROM hack, but it was just
Woohoo!
awesome.
Shots fired. Anyway,
Oh man, firing those shots, firing those shots like a certain Disgaea character.
Right.
fuck yeah. Like that girl that wields the gun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
I don't know what character that is.
Seraphina. With the,
Yes.
with, she's got
Yeah,
the,
could be-
the pistols.
In your defense, you've
Pistol.
only watched
It was
in
a bigger
Disgaea.
gun.
There are a lot of characters. Like watching someone play a game versus playing it yourself.
Maybe it's like a shotgun. I thought she wielded. I thought she wielded a shotgun.
No, she wields a pistol and it's got like 3 hearts on
She's
it.
got a couple
Which one
handguns.
wields the shotgun?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Might be
There
thinking
was
about
a girl-
Asagi. I'm not sure.
There was a girl in the game who wields a shotgun. I thought. Or if I'm wrong, I'm just thinking.
Are there even any shotguns in Disgaea? I'm pretty sure most of the weapons are just like pistols and stuff.
Yeah,
And
most of the guns are pistols.
most of the guns are handguns that you can use with one hand, like pistols and like MP5 gauge or whatever. Like,
I may be a slight schizo.
yeah, maybe. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Most of the goats
Man,
are pistols? No.
Sometimes.
Guns in Disgaea.
Something I really wish I knew what to do on Minecraft these days. Like, I mainly just hop on here to hang out with you guys, but I know, Hunger, you mainly work on the castle, right? The mine under it.
I just do all kinds of stuff. Like, sometimes I'm working on the moat, sometimes I'm working on the tower, sometimes I'm working on the outpost. Like, you know, it's just...
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of stuff to do, because I haven't done stuff in months on Minecraft. I've just been walking around.
Listen, you and I can go exploring some places.
I mean, exploring, yeah, but I want to find, like, something to do, like, maybe build something new, start mining stuff, like...
We could add some new shit to the clubhouse if you want.
I mean, maybe, yeah. We could try doing pixel art of Disgaea characters, that would be hard.
No, let's do pixel art of Octopath Traveler characters.
I mean, you know, yeah.
That's easier.
Man.
I mean, the sprite work in that game's still pretty well done, but yeah.
Yeah, fair.
That's just an example, though, doing pixel art. Pixel art in Minecraft's hard,
We could
unless
do
you use, like,
pixel
an
art.
editor or something.
We could do pixel art and Fool's Gold mods.
I mean, you can do that. I was making a suggestion. I'm probably gonna go explore or mine or something. We could, to explore...
Tell me
To
where you
explore-
are. And, wait,
To explore, we could use rockets, like, you know, the fireworks, and send ourselves flying on our elytras very far, and see if we can discover new locations. That's how...
Yeah, I've done that many a times. Also, Caps, can you teleport Aquan to me? I want to show him the rocket stand.
Run, Aquan. Solus is trying to show you his rocket.
No!
Oh!
Get away from me! I will not allow you to shove your fingers up my ass.
That's not what I was getting at, but okay.
I mean, you know.
Oh, I'm rocket! I want to ride the rocket!
Never mind.
The rocket's so fast.
Right?
Aquan,
the
follow me.
references.
I'm right behind you.
Huh? What?
Follow me.
Okay. Hello, Caps.
Hi, Caps. Follow me.
Yeah, Hunger, did you hear that I told you on one of your previous streams that there's a demo now for that, I know you said you're not looking to getting any new games, but I think you said something about maybe wanting it before. There's a demo right now for that new Gundam game, the new action RPG.
Yeah, so I
Talk
don't
to this fellow right here.
know. Bandai has been pissing me right the hell off lately.
Oh no.
Like as a company, not necessarily like like with their games, but like the company itself has been rubbing me the wrong way, and I really don't like the idea of giving them a shit ton of money. So like I got Survive because I'd been waiting for it since before they pissed me off, but you know, that just made me like their stupid little terms and conditions that they tried to get you to agree to, which I still think are not legally binding, by the way.
There are new conditions with Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco has new like.
So with Digimon Survive, when you first boot up the game, it tells you have to agree to these terms and conditions before you can play. And the terms and conditions include provisions like, oh, we have the right to take away your license to play this game at any time. And it's like, no, you kind of don't. That's not how buying things works. You know.
Wait, what the fuck?
So does that mean that I could lose my copy of Elden Ring at any given point?
I'm not sure if it has the same terms and conditions on it, but basically,
Bandai,
like in their little terms and conditions, it says, "Oh, we have we're only granting you a license to play this game, and we can terminate that license at any time we want." And then it goes on to say that if you produce any content with the game, whether it's fan art or if it's you know, live streams or videos or whatever, then Bandai has an unlimited license to use that content however it wants, and that license lasts forever. You know,
wow, so all your Digimon streams are going to be theirs.
Yeah, so basically they think that they could just claim all they're not claiming all my stuff, but they think they can just use my shit however they want, and that I have to just be okay with that. And the thing is, the reason I say it's not legally binding is because those types of terms and conditions should be discussed before the purchase is made, not after. If you already bought it and those terms and conditions were not on the packaging or discussed at the time of the sale, then those terms and conditions don't mean shit. There's been tons of legal cases that have thrown out agreements that were made after the fact. Like that. So, you know, like they try to say, oh well, you know, we made you click a thing that said yes, and it's like, you know, I don't have to click a thing that says yes to be able to play a game that I purchased myself. You know, like I've purchased the game, I've opened it up, no store is going to take that back. You know, so I'm stuck with it unless I want to try and sell it for less than what I paid for it. So, you know, they basically need to, you know, if they're going to try and pull that type of shit, then, you know, whoever is selling that to you needs to be discussing those terms with you, which is why I think that they said they weren't going to do any more physical copies of the game. You know, but the thing is, if they're doing it on eShops only, like you know, like on the Nintendo eShop and on whatever other platforms it's on, then those terms and conditions need to be before the sale and not after. Because especially with a digital copy, once you buy that copy, you can't return it. You know, so again, unless they give you those terms and conditions beforehand, it's not legally binding. You can't force somebody to agree to shitty terms after they've already made an unrefundable purchase. You know, like once they've made a purchase, they have the right to play to use the thing that they bought. Like, you know, there's a doctrine in American law called the first sale doctrine. You know, I have background music playing, for the love of Christ. Here, I'm gonna turn it up. Y'all keep bitching about it. There.
It's probably
No, it's okay.
Happy now? Can't hear shit, can you?
All that stuff about having a license, about an actual product, gives way into the game industry manuals. surprise me any. I mean, heyo.
See, I literally did not even notice you there.
I did. I actually said hi very quietly, but I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
Staring at the screen in front of me and not even looking at the computer.
I was waiting for a good time to put in my usual segue.
Anyway.
Yeah. Here's why why this whole Bandai Namco thing happened. It happened because I mentioned to Hunger that the new the game that he'd been interested in before, the demo's out for it now. The new Gundam game it's like a Gundam crossover action RPG. It's a pretty cool idea. It's a cool game. I played the demo and I liked the game, but I'm not going to
understand why I had the fucking music turned down.
Yeah.
It's still playing. It's just quiet.
Yeah. Like, if you want to hear it, just turn up your speakers.
Right.
Anyway.
Turn up your speakers, oh dear me. Jesus.
Right.
Anyway,
I think that Hunger kind of OD'd on Gundam action games between the 2 or 3 Muso titles they did.
Yeah, well.
Because I thought you did say something about wanting to get a new one at one point, but
No,
I can understand now why you don't want to get it.
Yeah,
because
like Bandai. Well, like the other thing is that they copyright claim me every time I fucking play Super Robot Wars. I'm glad they're not doing that every time that I do Digimon Survive, but they don't have to, because if they want the revenue for my streams, they could just fucking copy the whole fucking thing and play it as a video on demand and get all the revenue they want out of it. Yeah, because of their their shitty terms of service. Anyway.
I think I also heard that they were trying to enforce a no spoiler rule, where you can't post spoilers for the story in the game.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's something where good luck with that. I mean, it's the internet, but
yeah.
The terms and conditions that they posted there, like I said, I don't think that any of them are legally applicable, just because the way that they decided to do them is something where they're not presenting those terms and conditions before a transaction takes place.
Plus, there's the added wrinkle of this is a game that's rated T for teen or E, and so you're gonna have minors buying it. And so, how the heck do you have a minor trapped into a legally binding contract upon the moment of purchase?
Yeah, exactly. You can't.
You can't.
It's something where they are going to have an uphill battle if they ever try to enforce any of that shit. So, good luck, Bandai Namco, and also fuck you. Anyway,
fuck you, Namco.
Seriously, Bandai has been making one shitty business move after another, and they are just pissing me off at this point. I'm pissed that they're doing a new card game. I'm pissed about, the way that they're treating some of the other shit that they're doing. It's garbage.
Not like the best.
There's one thing I can defend Bandai Namco for, and before you get your pitchforks out, hear me out. At Games, the makers of these really crummy home console compilation hardware, like for Sega and so forth, they somehow weaseled their way into getting the rights to use Miss Pac-Man, and Bandai Namco has decided to go scorched earth against them.
Yeah.
They tried to do it the nice way and say, look, let's work out a deal so that you're not besmirching Miss Pac-Man and misusing the IP or whatever. And basically, At Games considered to be scuzzy, and so now Namco is basically erasing Miss Pac-Man left and right.
Yeah, he does that. He subscribes to everyone. Oh wait, I'm not muted.
Wait, what? I didn't hear what he said. I heard him say he wasn't muted. And that's it.
I don't know. Anyway.
I was so caught up on what
basically
he said that I didn't understand what he said.
Okay, never mind. My brother, I thought I was muted. Sorry, guys, but my brother walked into my room and he said that he was in the chat, he said hello, and then he said that Hutch McGee said, "Hello, Cameron44, I subscribed your channel."
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
I
I was
saw,
like,
I
yeah,
saw him there.
he
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he does that.
44. That's her brother?
Yeah. He sounds a lot
saw
like
it.
me,
I saw it in
apparently.
the chat. I was like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cameron sounds.
Hi,
yeah,
Cameron.
Cameron is your brother's name, so I should have known that.
Yeah, he's not in the room now, but I guess he can hear you on the stream,
Oh,
so
okay, cool.
yeah.
Okay, well, tell him I said hi.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
But yeah, I guess he figured you were streaming because he heard me talking to you guys. Yeah, anyways, sorry to interrupt.
Also, Hunger, do you want me to get some glass for you? That hole down there at the window?
I was actually gonna put bars there.
Oh, okay. Well, hand me some bars and I'll get to
Yeah.
the wood.
Well, I don't have the bars on me. I have the iron for them.
Oh, I think I might have bars in my chest, actually, in my house.
Yeah. You guys should go in third person mode, by the way. Because Cap's activated big head mode, and my character's head looks really funny.
Yeah, I don't like that my character has a big crescent moon on her forehead in big head mode.
There we
I
go.
think it looks funny. Big head. Big head! Big head! Big head! Big head!
Your snout is fucking huge, Hunger. Jesus.
No. Just,
Oh, man.
Where are the iron bars?
Yeah.
There they are. 32 of them.
build it
Yeah.
up with iron bars, iron bars, iron bars. Alright, anyway.
Yeah, my favorite kind of bar.
Yeah, he just thought it was funny that Hutch McGee said, "Hi, I subscribed you."
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, that's my schizo brother for you.
Yeah.
He don't
So,
want anybody.
I have only one minor complaint about the new Beavis and Butthead show.
Uh-huh.
It
Uh-huh.
does not start with any kind of disclaimer that says Beavis and Butthead are not real. They're not actors. They're cartoons.
Yeah.
Some of the things they do will cause a person to get hurt, expelled, arrested, possibly deported.
Yeah.
Put this another way, don't try this at home.
Yeah.
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 It does not open with that iconic disclaimer,
Right.
and it needs to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
Or
I-
something like it.
I did watch the first episode before you sent it to me. I actually posted it on in the Discord for everybody under anime recommendations, I think. But anyway,
Oops.
but the part with fire, like the second half of that episode where it's Beavis and fire, and and the fire keeps telling Beavis to do helpful, constructive things.
It just
Like-
figures that Beavis would have a hallucination that would actually tell him to do good, wholesome, productive things.
Yeah.
Though, you
Well,
know,
like, it's funny because like you know, the fire's like, Butthead doesn't understand us, and Beavis is like, yeah, we should set him on fire, and he's like, oh, maybe later, you know, like, you know. But he like keeps telling him that he's like read Call of the Wild and write a 2-page report. You know, go exercise. You know, go like it's just.
oh, run 1 mile up the school track.
That's so funny. Like it just.
yeah.
That episode, like that whole thing, I was just rolling. Like, you know, he's like, we know what to do with filth. He's like, yeah, fire, and he's like, no, pick it up and put it in the recycling, and then do the same thing for the surrounding alleys. You know, just. Oh my gosh, he's like making him pick up trash and do exercise. All this shit.
And when the guy's putting the fire out,
Yeah,
you can
he's
just see the
away
look,
like he's guilty.
the look of guilt on Beavis's face. That's
Right,
priceless.
Yeah, like it's just.
That fire sucked.
Yeah, that fire sucked. It's like I have always been able to speak with you, and it like shows them at their third birthday party. Butthead's there. You know, like,
That's hilarious.
oh my gosh, just freaking great.
I still feel so bad for Shirley.
Yeah.
Such a tragic tale.
Yeah, the one that we never got to hear during the movie.
Yeah,
uh,
that's bad.
Oh man, but yeah, the
Now, the escape room episode, I have a small, teeny tiny aggravation with because I remember vividly there was an episode where Beavis had a nosebleed, and so they go to like the convenience store, and Butthead says, like, here's $1. Can you give us one of those things you put in your thing when you have your thing? And so the reason I bring this up is because in that episode where they're like trapped in the bathroom,
they find tampons and they're like, "What are these?" It's like no one will ever know what those are. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I realize that this show, each episode or each half episode is like a one-off, but still, it kind of annoyed me. Like, come on, they knew in the '90s what the heck tampons were to some extent.
Honestly, though, did they like maybe he was just saying that maybe what he was referencing was a nosebleed, and the guy just thought that he meant tampons, you know? Like, so.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the episode, they have gotten the living crap slapped out of them, and they both have nosebleeds, and they both have tampons stuck in both their nostrils.
Yeah.
And they're making references to the various slogans and phrases you hear in a tampon commercial.
Right.
Mhm.
They still might not understand exactly what they are, but but anyway.
The thing about nosebleeds though is there was an episode in the '90s of Beavis and Butthead where I think Beavis had a nosebleed and Butthead was like putting a paper bag over his head, and there like blood was covering the whole paper bag or something.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's the same episode I was describing.
Oh, you're talking about an episode from the '90s?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were talking about
Yeah,
the
no.
recent one.
Basically, he's referencing that episode because there's an episode, like in the first episode of the new thing. They're at this place where they're doing escape rooms, and they tell them which way to go down the hall to get the escape room, and they follow directions incorrectly, and they wind up in the men's bathroom, but they think it's the escape room, so they're like trying to they're trying to get out, but they can't they're like pushing on the door instead of pulling, and you know and stuff like that, so they're just not getting out. And anyway, they end up accidentally breaking the vent off of the air conditioning, and they think that that's like the way out, so they crawl through the air ducts and they wind up in the women's room.
That's hilarious.
And there's a tampon dispenser in there. So, like, it's just you know, like they pull, like they get a bunch of tampons out of there, and they like have no idea what the hell they are. And Butthead's like, we must put them in the toilet. So they shove all the tampons in the toilet, and then after that they freaking
Put the paper bags over
they start like they start flushing the toilet, and then like they like put a bunch of paper towels and shit in there on top of the tampons, like.
Oh my fucking god!
You know, so like the toilet's like overflowing, and and then the guy from the reception area comes to check on it, and he opens the door, and while he's like freaking out over the toilet overflowing, the two of them walk out behind him, and they're like, yeah, we did it, you know.
Yeah.
You know?
And then at the end,
Then at the end, they
ask the guy where the bathroom is.
And he's like, where's the bathroom? And the guy tells him the directions to the bathroom, which is across the hall from the escape room. And so they follow the directions incorrectly again, and they wind up in the escape room, and it's got a sarcophagus in there. And so Beavis like pulls the lid off the sarcophagus and starts shitting in it.
Oh my fuck!
Oh, that's good.
Right, that's golden. Holy shit!
Yeah. Oh man.
Anyways, the entire Twin episode is up on YouTube, free to watch.
Oh wow.
I'm
Oh, nice.
currently subscribed to Paramount Plus for the time being,
Yeah.
hoping that it'll become worth it, but I'm not sure.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure. They have like
Worth
they have
it.
like the new Beavis and Butthead movie. They have the new show, but the Paramount Plus doesn't have really many interesting things. That's why I only got the free subscription, free 1 week subscription, just to watch the movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty worthwhile, considering I got it for free. Again, the movie, my thoughts on it, it was a good movie, just not as good as the first one, but
Yeah.
still a pretty good movie, pretty fun watch.
Oh, I mean, you
Funny
know,
gags in it. Like,
the first one had the benefit of having Robert Stack in it, which this one definitely did not have. But,
yeah,
Although the character they practically replaced him with has a similar fascination. The Robert
Yeah.
Stack character was fascinated with the
Anal
idea
cavity
of
searches.
giving cavity searches like they're Halloween candy, and this other guy wants to dissect the two characters. So it's like,
but yeah, no, but the anal cavity searches thing was much funnier. It was just
yeah, it was
like,
hilarious.
it's like anal cavity
Yeah.
searches all around. I'm talking Roto Rooter. Don't stop
Yeah,
until you get to the back of his teeth. You know?
They do it all those older. Those like
And
poor
after
old
Bat-
idiots.
and after Butthead gets cavity searched, he says,
Did I just?
"I just
score?
score."
Yeah.
Or how about, hey baby, I see that you have braces. I have braces too.
Yeah, Chelsea Clinton.
Yeah.
There was actually going to be a cut scene. There was a scene cut from Beavis and Butthead Do America where Chelsea would be packing up her things
Oh, how
because for
funny.
whatever reason, because they were expecting Clinton to have lost that second term.
Oh, how funny.
Hilarious.
But they had to cut it because he won.
Yeah, you see, this is why you
Uh.
don't. This is part of the reason why you don't, lean on politics for your entertainment all that much, because it can backfire horribly. There's an entire season of South Park which was practically crap because they were betting on Hillary Clinton winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Well,
that.
South Park has also made some interesting adjustments where they have,
Yeah.
adjusted their content, like to be like super topical, like for like the week of, like the Janet Reno raid on Elian Gonzalez episode, like where they were making fun of that. Oh my gosh! Like it was the week of, like it was super topical. Like I don't know if they'd already had like a similar episode kind of planned out, and then the raid happened and they just snuck it in there.
Yeah.
But it was still hilarious. Like
I'm still, to this day, I'm still upset about episodes 200 and 201 being banned and censored.
Are those the ones revolving a certain Middle Eastern religious figure?
Yeah, who
Family
doesn't
Guy
like?
episodes, yeah,
And the death threats that come with any depiction of him?
right.
Yeah, he actually sent death threats to the creators of South Park.
You know what's funny about that? So the Muslim community, they're like, oh, we don't appreciate any depiction of the Prophet Muhammad and everything. So that episode, the Muhammad episode and everything, that got like banned and all this stuff on TV, and and all this crap. But there's another episode of South Park from way earlier on in the series, where Jesus and all these other deities are forming a superhero group called the Super Best Friends, and Muhammad is in it, and that one is still played all the time.
Super bad.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't threaten me for that one.
Yeah, so it's just funny.
He probably didn't know about that one, but he knew
Yeah,
about
but it's funny though.
That
Yeah.
is funny. That's
It
really
is
funny.
Very funny.
It's funny because they had that squad in the 200, 201 as well. But the part where it's like, Muhammad, and he's like censored.
Right.
Honestly, I think him being censored makes it funnier just because of the joke. But it still sucks that they got threatened over free speech.
Sometimes
What if they just
censorship
gave
can
Muhammad
actually
the
be.
power of invisibility.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
That-
man.
Apparently, I'm
censorship
not
can
Yeah,
censorship can actually be funnier than the thing that they're trying to censor.
Sometimes, yeah.
For example, Scott the Waz, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He censors somewhat poorly his own cursing, but the way it's done is mostly for humor,
Yeah.
and it enhances the humor.
Yeah.
I guess since it makes it funny because he's like a Nintendo channel, right? So that's why he does it. But yeah.
No, he's fairly platform agnostic.
Platnostic.
Agnostic. I know, right?
I swear my cat has been slowly turning into a real jerkhole lately.
Oh.
That sucks.
When he was a kitten, he would occasionally jump up on my entertainment center and thus get his fur and his butt prints all over my consoles and stuff.
Oh yeah, your consoles.
And so I resorted to shooting him with a Nerf gun every time he did so, and after a while he quit doing it. And for years he hasn't done it, but just recently, the past few weeks, he's resumed doing it.
So it has worked in the past.
So
I mean,
So that means you have to resort to doing it again.
I'm not going to say anything about that, but
yeah, I've got Nerf guns out again, and I've been shooting him again. But just the other night, I was absolutely exhausted. I'd come back from a doctor's appointment, and I had my food. I was ready to chillax, and he goes there, and he just plops his butt down and starts just taking a nap on my PS4.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Also,
he looked so cute, I didn't have the heart to shoot him at that point. But he did stare at me for a good minute, as if he was asserting his dominance. Like he's saying, see, I'm going to do this until the end of time. You might as well give up.
Wow.
Okay.
But then, just as I was starting to reconsider my stance about him sitting on my consoles, he gets up and he starts to lick and nibble at the cables for my PS4 VR.
Oh
and I'm
shit!
Like, nope. And I'm like,
And
nope.
then
That is
he
why.
had the cat humanely euthanized. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no!
Just kidding.
No,
Listen though.
I picked him up and I put him down on the floor, and he grazed me with his teeth. I'm like, okay, the war starts again.
Right.
I'm not all for. I'm never for. Fuck. What am I trying to say? I'm not down for animal abuse, but come on.
I would say that the destruction of one's gaming equipment would be borderline justifiable.
Right.
yeah.
Borderline, but still absolutely not.
Right.
I mean, he is a spoiled little furball.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I refer to him at certain times as my abusive boyfriend, and also,
Oh, so he's soulless. I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm sorry. I had to.
What did you say?
Nothing.
These are the jokes, right?
and he's also a religious lap cat cultist.
Yeah, right.
So
if I'm not letting him sit on my lap or between my legs on the recliner, within 5 minutes of being home, he starts throwing little fits.
You're saying I'm a cat is what you're going for with that one.
No, but sure.
Aquat's like
No, but okay, yes, I no, but yes.
No, but also yes.
Yeah, no, but also sure. But also
No,
maybe.
but yes.
But also.
Why is
no,
my
maybe,
character
never.
not voting
I don't know.
into
What did
the
you do to
round?
them?
Yeah, my game froze at the exact same place. One's game froze on him.
It might actually be the server then that's causing it to freeze up at certain points. It happened for both of us. Because I mean,
Might actually
I'm
be
not
your
playing on
mom.
Switch.
Alright.
You're playing on Switch. I'm playing on Xbox. We're playing on two different platforms.
You're also playing on Switch, and so's Cavs.
I know. I was
Caps-
saying you're
Caps
playing on
wants to
Switch.
know where it's
I'm-
freezing.
Somewhere behind my house, on the left side, or not on the left side, the right side.
Yeah,
where
it's like. Yeah, it was near Solstice's house.
right side behind my house.
Because that's where I saw it freeze when I got there too, and I thought it was my Xbox acting up, and I was like, it's never. The only time my Xbox has ever crashed was when I was playing Danganronpa, and the Xbox version of that game is not very well ported, I'd say, and the game crashed at one point, and yeah, so.
Yeah, it's not loading my character skin anymore.
So much so that one of my friends who was there at the time when I was playing my Xbox, he decided to make a piece of artwork of Junko stepping on the Xbox Series X and saying, "Can't run my game, pathetic."
Oh no.
Yeah, I saw that art. It's probably one of my most favoriteest arts that your friend has ever drawn.
Yeah, of course you like it. I wonder why you like it.
Why wouldn't I?
He does some pretty good art. But yeah.
Yeah.
Big money, no whammy, no whammy.
I'd chill it. I'd chill his art. 'Cause, I mean, he's my best friend, like, and everything. But I'd chill his art. But the thing is, he has this thing where he doesn't really want to make like online accounts on Twitter or DeviantArt or anything, and I don't blame him because his whole reason for not wanting to make anything on Twitter is Twitter's culture is very toxic,
Wow.
and he doesn't really deal with it.
Twitter's a dumpster fire,
Yeah.
full
Like-
of rich elite,
Like,
spoiled leftists.
Yeah.
No real tolerance in their vocabulary.
Somebody was
Yeah.
was talking about this this social media platform that was like full of race, like known for being full of racists. It's like it's full of racists who just get to say whatever they want, and you know, he's like it's kind of, or they're like it's kind of like Twitter, except it's like full of racists that get to say whatever they want, and nothing bad happens to them. And like it's Twitter.
Yeah. That's literally Twitter. So they're basically just like they're anti-Twitter, but they're still doing the whole sentiment of, oh, if someone says something racist about a white person or sexist about a male, then it's okay. But
Of course,
Yeah,
because
it-
that's how it works in the current zeitgeist. That zeitgeist is being dismantled week by week.
anyways, all I wanted to say is that a good way for him to, I don't want to have something started just because I talking about art, but yeah, I told him maybe Discord could be a good place to start showing your artwork and showing it off, because I mean he's getting to the point to where I'd say his art's getting really good, like shading and everything, and he started doing digital art about almost a year ago. Before that, he was doing it on paper, and
Yeah. Also, I can't connect to the room.
yeah, okay, but yeah, Twitter's definitely it can be a good place to show your artwork on, but I can understand one not wanting to make a Twitter account. Like, I have a Twitter account and I follow a lot of people on it, mainly my friends, but
Listen.
I avoid Twitter at all costs unless like one of my friends makes a post of like their artwork or something, then I'll check it out. But
for my whole life, will promise myself to never go near Twitter again.
basically, the thing with
It's
Twitter
worth-
is
It's worth using just to lurk around and see what people are saying and just how crazy the rest of the world is.
yeah, that's the bad thing about Twitter. Here's the good thing about Twitter that can make it useful. Is if you only follow artwork accounts and like your friends' accounts, you'll still get recommended things because they might like a post or something that has something controversial in it. Then you have to deal with an argument. But the best part about that is as long as you yourself do not get reeled into that argument, like just if you see a Twitter post about something that is like someone spouting out an opinion and it has a ton of replies, you probably shouldn't click on that, because it's the same thing with YouTube replies, where you're gonna have trolls that are trying to say stuff to the person, and then you're gonna have people that unironically mean the things they say, and will just say like really demeaning crap to the person in question, saying that, oh, my opinion is the only one that matters. And it's like that with YouTube comment sections, it's like that with Twitter. There are a lot of places like that, and just the best way to avoid it is to just not read replies. Like, don't do the mistake of reading replies. It's like finding a thread on VP. It's like, oh, you're gonna find a bunch of toxic ass people. Like,
Well, and that's the thing is, when you're talking about, Twitter or YouTube, honestly, your user experience is going to vary greatly from person to person. If you're on Twitter looking for toxic ass people, you're gonna find them.
Yeah,
There's no shortage of toxic ass people to find on there. If you're on Twitter looking for artwork, you're probably just going to find a lot of artwork. You might occasionally see a toxic bitch face, but for the most part, you're probably just going to find like artwork and shit.
Yeah, like when someone draws a character in like their own way. 'Cause here's the thing, if someone wants to make an interpretation of a character, their own interpretation of that character, by all means, I think that's perfectly fine. And that's part of the creative law and parody law or creative license. Like, the companies don't have any issue most of the time with people drawing their characters. But then you have the self-righteous jerks on Twitter that are like, hey, you drew this character with like a different as a different like gender or different skin tone or something, or you made them skinny or anything. And it's like, okay, well, first of all, that's that person's interpretation. If that person wants to make an interpretation of their favorite character to better, I don't know, represent them or like whatever, don't get mad at them for changing the character. Like,
right. I mean, it's not like that's like, the official canon version of the character now, like because somebody drew it that way.
Like people get mad at. I'd say this, that both sides are pretty guilty with getting mad. Like, there's the people that get mad at people for drawing characters. Like, I can understand where some of them come from, because some people will, like, draw, like, My Hero Academia characters, like, all black or whatever, but they'll get mad if you, like, what's that one bunny girl's name again? If you make her skin tone, like, slightly lighter, they'll get really mad at you, but the same people do the opposite. It's like, okay, this isn't a one-way street. It's like, people should be allowed to interpret characters how they want, no matter what.
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, these people who are running around changing the races and sexual orientations and genders of all these classic characters, to make those series more quote unquote inclusive. Those same people would whine like hell if somebody who was already one of those races, genders, or sexual orientations was changed into a white dude. So it's like, so they need to understand that, what they're doing is not, the only reason they think what they're doing is okay is because they're doing it to a white male character. It's really, something where if they were doing it to somebody else, if it was being done the opposite way, they wouldn't think it was so great. So it's like,
like if they made a Blue Beetle movie now and have it be based on the original one who was a white guy, people would lose it.
Well,
it's like, basically like
I like to use the example if they decided to go ahead and make a new Shaft movie and made Shaft a pasty white dude, people would be
played by Chris Pratt.
Pissed, like people would lose their absolute goddamn minds over that, and it's like, like that's it's something where, I get that you want more representation, but you could get it without appropriating a pre-existing character's identity. If you're going to have like what they did with Miles Morales and Spider-Man is the right way to go about it. They didn't make Peter Parker black. They didn't say, Peter Parker's a black dude now. They just said, hey, here's this new guy, Miles Morales, who is also a Spider-Man.
I know, right?
So it's something where when you're talking about the whole race, sexual orientation, gender swapping thing that's happening in all these adaptations, it's like, I get that you want to have a more diverse array of body types and whatnot, but you don't need to do it by co-opting the identities of pre-existing characters.
And boy, do I have some great news for you.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything about the Discovery owner, the new DC Warner Brothers guy? What his 10-year plan is?
No.
No, but it's probably something terrible.
No.
Knowing the man.
Terrible if you like all the stuff we're complaining about.
Yeah.
Um, Now,
Oh.
the bad news is there are a lot of these so-called woke Warner Brothers DC movies that absolutely can't get canceled entirely because of contracts and so forth. But the cancellation of Batgirl is a giant step and sign of things changing.
Yeah. Well.
Oh. That's
David Zaslav, the new owner, president, whatever of Warner Brothers, he has a 10-year plan to get to a hard reboot where the legacy characters will be reestablished. And I mean, the whole superhero movie boom will probably have fizzled out by then, but I'm going to give this guy points for trying. Let's see. The Flash movie is probably going to be essentially severely postponed for like 5 years because of some things that Ezra Miller has been purportedly doing.
did he kidnap people or something?
Let's see. There's a video circulating of him choking a woman in a retail store and slapping her, throwing her down.
Oh, Jesus.
He's been in Hawaii for quite some time. I don't know if he lives there or not, but he's been arrested several times and complained about by tourists and native Hawaiians alike. Basically, he's being a big donkey.
Oh, wow.
And now it seems he's been grooming a girl since she was 13, who is now 18.
Okay,
And he's essentially seems to be running a little cult of his own, and has a family like wrapped around his thumb.
Oh,
wow.
like a Manson family type situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and here's the worst thing. The Flash movie was going to do an adaptation of Flashpoint, and it was going to reset the universe so that Henry Cavill's Batman was no longer there and replaced with a gender and, well, it is going to be Supergirl, but it was going to be a race or orientation swap. The Batgirl movie was going to be an effect of that flashpointing, and that was also a race swap. And there was going to be another new Batman taking the place of Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Which, if you ever watched the Ultimate Edition of BVS or the Snyder Cut version of Justice League, you realize that Ben Affleck was actually one of the best parts.
Yeah.
So it's like he wasn't the problem with that adaptation. It was all the other choices around it.
Right. Yeah.
Like adapting him based on the Dark Knight Returns iteration of Batman.
Yeah.
And skipping over Robin entirely and all that jazz.
Or how Batman versus, or the entirety of Batman versus Superman.
The theatrical cut is not the cut you should watch. You should watch the Ultimate Edition.
Oh, yeah.
It is a 100% better movie in every way, shape, and form, but you had corporate meddling that basically ruined it.
Yeah.
The only time I saw that was in theaters.
Basically, what Zaslav has been quoted as saying is that this woke stuff is going to bankrupt the company, and basically all these movies, if it's woke or if it's garbage, it's getting canceled.
Nice.
Well, that does sound really good actually, because they can finally make them enjoyable again. Because like, here are my thoughts on politics and stuff like that in media. It should be allowed in media if it's something like, I don't know, like Fire Emblem or something like that, where the game is literally about like conquests and stuff, right? But if your game or movie series is like a superhero thing meant for people of all ages mostly, you shouldn't be forcing stuff like that on them, because they're not paying money to unless it's part of the character's story. Pretty much, if a political struggle or something like that is part of a character's story, then by all means, yes, I have no problem with it being in the movie. But if you're trying to shove it into, just all these DC movies and stuff that originally didn't have these struggles, then no. Because, I mean, like, obviously, like with the X-Men, the X-Men has always been about like anti-discrimination and stuff with the mutants and not being accepted in society. So that is politics in of itself. But what I mean by this is when they shove that woke garbage in your face and like what woke basically is people like there have been people before that are like actually like racist and stuff trying to say that anything is woke, but what reality of what woke is, it's someone just shoving something in your face, shoving their ideals in your face. And I'm glad that they're getting rid of that, or supposedly getting rid of it.
The origin of the term woke was that people were waking up to the fact that certain groups and things were being marginalized and discriminated against, and were trying to do something about it. That's where the term originated.
Yeah,
but
it used to be a good thing.
like these days, the quote unquote woke movement and the woke agenda just sort of symbolizes this, like what you said, just shoving those beliefs down people's throats and trying to force them to accept, any sort of weird things that you do to a franchise in the name of, diversity and whatnot. And it's like,
and the box office numbers for all these movies that are still trying to do that, even in the subtext, are really telling and showing. Lightyear has disappointed. Multiverse of Madness was disappointing. Thor: Love and Thunder. Thor: Love and Thunder, I think that one was okay, except they basically dumbed down the humor to Minions level.
That's what the movie. That's why I don't like that movie. They have way too much humor in it. Dumb.
That movie's got too much.
As for Multiverse of Madness, I'll let you finish this thing after. As for Multiverse of Madness, I did think that the stuff Sam Raimi did was good. Like he definitely pushed the limits of what Disney usually allows in those movies, and I liked that.
Oh, he went much further. The original reveal.
Yeah.
The original reveal of Wanda actually being a villain in that movie was supposed to be showing Mordo's head decapitated in a basket, but they had to cut that. There was no way they could do that without getting an R rating.
Yeah.
But basically, Disney, unfortunately, can afford to keep posting losses after losses after losses from probably the entirety of Phase 5 if they wanted.
Okay, here's the thing with Multiverse of Madness. I think that the CGI was pretty good in it. The stuff that Sam Raimi did was pretty good, but I know what you mean. Like the scene with the I know what you actually wait. No, I shouldn't say that because I don't think Hunger's seen it yet. So
no, he has not.
I know what you're talking about though. It's with a certain scene in the movie that they definitely pushed some semi-woke crap into. Aside from that, it's a pretty decent movie, pretty good movie. But it wasn't amazing by any means. But yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking about the movie in case I accidentally spoil something.
Yeah. Also, I can't connect to them.
You've mentioned that you can't connect to the realm, and I'm sorry about that. I
Fucking
can't wave my magic penis around and make the internet work. I'm sorry.
I know.
Yeah, on the different side of things, because I really don't like. I understand talking about stuff like this can be helpful for some people to vent, I guess, but I usually don't like talking about stuff like this, anyways, because at the end of the day, it's basically it's all meaningful at all. We're all talking about stuff that's basically it just reminds me of like I don't know, more depressing times and not depressing.
Well, I'm only bringing this whole thing up because there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
I guess it's more of a hope thing, right? Since we're getting rid
well,
of it.
Some of this is based on an actual audio leak of a meeting with Zaslav and the higher ups and shareholders. Basically, Zaslav knows that Warner Brothers can't afford to be pushing this anti-consumerist, anti-majority agenda, and so he's doing what he can to reverse course and canceling Batgirl with all of its woke messaging, and the unfortunate canceling of Brendan Fraser's first major role in God knows how long is, it's a big step. But he knows that Disney can afford to pump out stuff that underperforms financially for years and years and years, and he's watching in real time as Disney's declining in relevancy in all those arenas, especially with them going up against Florida.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he has this plan to bring Warner Brothers up to that state where Disney was a few years ago with Endgame. So he wants to do his own version. He wants to do it right to please the fans. The only disappointing thing that I heard is that aside from Green Lantern and Aquaman, which is already an established new popular mainstream character, he wants to stick mostly with the ones that have been established already, which means we may not that Blue Beetle movie that's in development that may get canceled, and I'm saddened by that because my favorite part of this huge boom in comic book adaptations is seeing live action adaptations of characters and stories that are never gotten a chance. Like Doctor Strange, there was almost a Doctor Strange movie in the 90s. We finally got one. Black Panther. I'm always a huge fan of cat-themed characters for obvious reasons, and I'm happy we got Black Panther and a sequel. I'm glad we finally got a Spider-Man that's done right by an actor who can pull off the innocent wallflower half of Peter Parker and the energetic, quippy, super personality of Spider-Man.
Okay, so Caps Lock says Blue Beetle is done filming already. I just wanted to add that Batgirl was pretty much done too, and they still canned it. So they just
Yeah.
it's something where that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll leave it alone. I just wanted to add that. But
yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I was gonna make a comment.
Batgirl was repeatedly so bad that they did test screenings and they said that it was borderline unwatchable.
Yeah.
Because it was so heavy with the subtext and the messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna make a comment though when you said
that
when you said that the first good Spider-Man movie was Homecoming. I think I know what you mean in terms of characterization, like making him seem like the comic book Spider-Man, but I think the first two, especially Spider-Man 2, is still the best Spider-Man movie to this date. And
I won't argue.
But the crossover one is still pretty good. I'd say it's a close second, the crossover movie they did. It had everyone's favorite, so basically it appealed to all the fans of the movie adaptations.
You're right. Regardless of which one you liked best, your guy was there, so, it's just...
And they were even in character. I mean, like, they were even in character too. Like they still acted the same as they did in their movies. Like you still had like the awkwardness of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and you had the funny cockiness to the first Sony Spider-Man, and then you had the MCU Spider-Man / second Sony Spider-Man.
Right.
They all behaved the same as they normally do, which was cool to see them actually get the personalities right, even since it's been, I hate to say this because it makes me feel old, but it's been literally like 2 decades since the first trilogy, like the first 2 movies. It's been 2 decades since the first movie of Spider-Man, so that makes me feel old because I didn't see that movie in theaters, but I did see it when I was like 5. So I saw the first 2 when I was like 5 or 6 or whatever, and then I remember I did see my parents took me, I was really young, but to see I vaguely remember being taken to theaters to see Spider-Man 3, and that movie, they had way too many villains on it.
I won't argue that Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie altogether, but I mean, case in point, when I got my first apartment, one of the first things I did is I bought a Spider-Man movie poster, the one where he's like climbing on the side of a building, and I put it right above my bed. And my roommate saw it one day. He said, "Dude, most guys will put like a poster of a naked chick or something above their bed. You're kind of weird."
That's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I just think that
That was an actual human roommate, not his cat. That would be weird. But anyway,
That would be extra weird, yeah.
Your cat was a
Kinda
fur.
weird.
Yeah, my cat won't speak English no matter how many times I try to bribe him with catnip or treats.
all right,
He speaks meow with a slight southern accent.
all
Titles.
right, yeah.
My roommate is a Neko? Question mark.
Meow. Meow.
Right.
He can't
There's
hear
an
you. I'm
anime
using
series
headphones.
called- An anime slice of life series called My Roommate is actually a Neko.
Oh,
Because the
My
anime
Roommate's
they just have
actually a
really
Neko.
long titles. So
there's actually there is actually an anime that's called My Roommate is a Cat, and it's really
What?
funny.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I
Hunger
was just
beat me by 1 second.
Yeah.
Yes, there's an
Your
anime
joke
called
became
My-
real, dude.
Basically,
roommate
it's
is a cat.
about a writer who has social anxiety issues and doesn't like to go outside. And while he's visiting his parents' grave one day, he encounters a stray cat, and the stray cat inspires him to do some writing, and so he brings the cat home and decides to start caring for it, but he has no idea how to care for a cat. Basically each episode shows the episode from the human's perspective in the first half, and then it shows it from the cat's perspective in the second half, and so you get to see why the cat is acting like that.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
So yeah,
Really-
it's really funny.
Man, and I've even seen the anime with the fucking fox maid, but that's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, the helpful fox Senko-san.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, but no, My Roommate is a Cat. That was actually really good. It's very funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of it back when Crunchyroll was still free.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, it still technically is for some things. There are a bunch of things that you can still watch without being on premium. But
I bet One Piece isn't one of them.
Yeah, it depends on which part of the series you're watching, but yeah, like because
Yeah, One Piece
because
is
they
a little-
sort their stuff by when it was uploaded, basically. Like, so everything uploaded after a certain date, most of it's on premium only. So if it was uploaded before that, then it's
I
fine.
just
But
hope-
like all the new
I
stuff
hope-
for One Piece is probably going to stay premium.
Mm.
So
I really hope it's not like Hulu, because Hulu basically, the way they work is they'll have different uploaders uploading clips of things. Sometimes they'll be from a show. Sometimes they'll be aired episodes that record on a DVR or something. And the reason I know this is because the example I will make is this show that I watched back in like my middle school days. Like the first few seasons was when I was in middle school. Anyways, it was one of like the last good Cartoon Network shows, regular show. But the thing about that show is it had like some earlier episodes that they later had to redub and censor because they didn't swear in them, but they had like some more
Innuendo.
crude. You know, the innuendos are still there, but they would say like, he's pissed off and you pissed me off, and they were like, Facebook type of moms were like complaining that, oh no, they said a cuss word in my kid's show, even though it's
Oh
just like
no,
a
they swore on
word.
national
I
television.
mean,
Whatever will I
piss is
do?
technically not a word that you can't say on TV. They actually had it in an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, like
the dub for
The
that.
thing is, like, they had to censor it because there were parents complaining about it, even though the show's rated PG and literally came on right before Adult Swim. But the point I'm making here is Hulu has some episodes that are uncensored, but it has some episodes that are censored, and that's why I know Hulu. My point being is that Hulu has people just uploading different versions of TV show episodes instead of just all from the same DVD release or whatever.
Right.
And it's kind of annoying because I don't know if it's some kind of contract with Cartoon Network being like, oh, we don't want these episodes being shown to anyone or anything.
Well,
like,
it could
Yeah.
be that, or it could be that they're trying to keep certain uncensored episodes back so that they could do a uncensored DVD release and be like, oh, this is the only place where you can watch this, you know, like, so anyway.
yeah, like I think the DVD version of that series in particular still has like the quote swearing in it. I mean, there were actually some parts in the earlier seasons where they actually did have implied swearing, like they would say what the H or like
What the H,
or
yeah.
like what the S, man, like
Yeah.
implied
What the S,
swearing.
what the
So
F? I don't know.
I don't know. People were getting. I just thought it was funny. It
Yeah.
was funny watching that show because I don't know. It was.
I
It
remember
was like
watching the entirety of Regular Show with you.
Right.
that show was like the last good show on Cartoon Network. Though everything these days is just.
Yeah. Everything else has been complete shit up to this point.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. I just can't watch cartoons anymore. Like
Me neither.
I can watch anime, but that's because it's more.
Yeah, anime is fine. I'm alright with it.
Well,
Oh, I'm one of those weirdos who wishes he could still watch TV, but his apartment complex has basically made it impossible to use antennas.
That
Yeah.
sucks. I mean,
well,
I don't blame you. Streaming has poorly compressed videos compared to how it actually is on DVD or even live TV, for that matter.
yeah, well.
Oh, here's a frustration I'm running into. I enjoyed The Big Bang Theory a whole lot, and by that I mean I somehow managed to binge watch it off and on just before my mother passed away last year.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
she was more into it than I was when it was running, and I got to watch some of it, as it was starting to wind down to its, big flashy end. And then when HBO Max came about, I found out Big Bang Theory was on. I was like, okay, I'll subscribe to this. And it was like every week after I'd watched through like a season and a half, I was able to talk to Mom and say, hey, I remember this one spot. What did you think about it? And so we even had watched Young Sheldon quite a bit together. And she would save the episodes for me on her DVR so we could catch it anytime we wanted. And so now I'm like a season, maybe season and a half behind on Young Sheldon, and I want to try to catch it. And so I'm on Paramount Plus, and it has some episodes of Young Sheldon. I figure, okay, this is weird. They had some Young Sheldon on HBO Max, but they were always a season behind.
Uh-huh.
And on Paramount Plus, they only have like 5 episodes from this new season. Now, I know that these later seasons are going to be truncated for various reasons, such as the child actors are growing up very quickly, and yes, other legal reasons. But it's really frustrating to have to try and find a particular show that's new and recent and find out where the heck it is, where I can find the entirety of it,
Right.
if I can. Or do I just sit and wait for DVD or Blu-ray releases?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a
Yeah.
pain in the ass.
Well,
And my apartment complex, to add fuel to the fire, last year, in the middle of the whole death spiral I endured, they completely replaced the windows that we had. And I have this antenna thing that I can just stick up into the window. And since our building is, I'm on the third floor of a building, and it's facing the west side, and in the northwest and southeast are 2 major transmission towers for all the TV signals. So I just have to, all I would have to do is stick an antenna in my window, and I've got clear reception, crystal clear reception to just about every HD signal I can possibly ask for. But within a month of them fully finalizing the installation of these new windows, which absolutely suck, because there's like no insulation from sound or hardly any from the elements. So our electrical grid at this dinky little place falls apart whenever it gets a little too cold or too hot for some of the residents. They say that we can't have those kinds of antennas that stick up into the windows. So it's like, okay, either you guys just plain suck, or you have, like, contracts with Cox or something.
Right.
And Just for the record, Cox is the name of an internet service provider, TV company, that kind of thing.
Yeah, they're currently waiting on that merger to Ucker Entertainment.
Seems like it's completed by now.
Yeah, well, you would think, but they
Uh-huh.
haven't changed their name to Cocksucker formally, so
I know, right?
just waiting on that,
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna close the game and start watching the stream
Fun.
or listen to you guys more.
Oh, I guess I should mention that Lieutenant Fuzzbottom says hello.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Who?
His cat.
Oh,
Lieutenant Kirby Furby Fuzzbottom Valentine.
oh, your freaking cat, of course.
He heard me griping about him and he decided to be all cute and lovey on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. I don't even know.
Oh, what does? Let's see. Batgirl. Let's see.
Yeah, another part of the disappointing thing with the Zaslaw leak is that there was apparently a Constantine movie that was in some sort of early development,
Yeah.
and anything that would be closer to the comics than the Keanu Reeves version is a plus for me.
Yeah. Well, I understand the mindset of, hey, let's go. Let's focus. Let's lean hard on our really established guys and build a universe with them, and then maybe after that they can start thinking about adding more superfluous characters. Like the expanded universe type characters from there. So I understand wanting to go with the already established guys first to kind of pave the way, which is what Marvel did at the beginning. When they started doing the MCU, they went with more established characters. Like they had, they were more established characters, but characters that still kind of technically hadn't had a movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
Iron Man and Spider-Man and Hulk, and
Yeah.
so they had all these characters that were kind of heavyweights in the comic industry. And some of them had even had like some animated series and stuff like that as well, but none of them had really done anything on the big screen yet. And so when they started coming out swinging with those characters, it was a really strong way to open up.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But it does suck that the lesser known characters happened to have their series made in the dark age of Marvel's MCU.
Hutch, did you just score?
Holy shit, Siege.
Did Hutch score? What?
So in the chat on YouTube, it says Hilda nailed my ass, guys.
Hilda nailed my ass. He
Wow,
scored a woman. He got a girlfriend. Nice.
She would definitely be the pegging topic. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, right? Holy hell. I mean,
Yeah.
he's basically the red of that game, if I'm guessing, right?
Jeez.
Yeah, because in Volt White 2 and in Blaze Black 2 and Volt White 2 in the post game, because that game made it where you can catch all 649 Pokemon in the game.
Now,
Yeah.
Hutch, this is very important. Was it rape by instrumentation, or did she peg you with her feminine penis?
Yeah. And if so, can you tell me where she's located? I'm just kidding.
No, right.
Aquan trying to slide into those DMs.
Slide those.
Right?
Oh man.
You know, so she's
That's
basically red.
I said it was important, okay? Like,
So
I'm asking for a friend. All right. Anyway.
If you play if you play as Rosa,
Oh
you
man.
end up fighting Hilda. If you play as Nate, you end up fighting Hilbert.
Oh
In the
okay.
post game of Volt White 2,
Yeah.
they appear in the that nature preserve area that you
Right.
give the shiny Luxorus in the base game.
Right.
For completing the
Also,
national
I feel the need to mention real quick that Hilbert is the dumbest name for a Pokemon Pro Tag. Period.
I know, right?
Like,
Hilda?
Hilbert. Hilbert.
Hilbert.
Because that gen had a protagonist named Hilda as the female, and they for whatever reason decided that the male counterpart for her needed to be named Hilbert.
Yeah, at least in the
Right.
English game. That's actually all the translation team's fault because
Yeah.
all the characters have different names in Japanese. Like
I
Hilbert's
know.
name is Toko in Japanese. but
I
you can
know
still
the
pretty much-
characters' Japanese names are always superior by a long way.
Yeah,
So you know.
But
Yes,
yeah.
very much.
There still are some good English character names though. Like Red, I think Red's the same in Red's the
Yeah,
same in
Red's the
Japan. But, like Hilda's one of the English translated names. That's a
Uh-huh.
pretty good. Ethan is
Yeah.
pretty strong for Heart Gold Soul Silver. What's another one?
Did you know
Lyra,
that when they were
right?
first localizing Pokemon, they were actually planning on calling Ash Casey?
See?
Yes.
Casey.
There was an
Fucking
hell, man.
article that surfaced in a magazine, and it was talking about Pokemon coming out, and they mentioned that his name was Casey. And then they actually
Oh my god,
and then
dude.
they actually changed it in the 11th hour to Ash. So, you know,
Good lord.
yeah,
After somewhat having a girl name.
yeah. Well,
Anyways, I forgot what I was gonna say.
but yeah.
Oh yeah. They appear as like the final boss of the ROM pack, Volt White 2 and Blaze Black 2. A pretty tough fight. That's probably why Hutch got absolutely pegged by Hilda's
That's surprising because you have the team of legendaries.
Right. I like Ash and Gary as the names for those characters from the
Yeah.
anime because they
Yeah.
were localizations of the Japanese names.
Yeah, because
So Ash is from Satoshi.
yes,
uh,
Toshi and
So they took the ASH from Satoshi and just made it Ash. And Gary is from Shigeru.
yeah,
And the thing is, they're named after Satoshi Tajiri and Shigeru Miyamoto, respectively.
yeah.
you know,
Nintendo. I knew
two,
that.
yeah, two of the big brains from Nintendo.
I also knew
were
that.
behind
A lot of-
Pokemon. So
Yeah, the thing is, the younger, I don't know if the younger viewers would get that, but a lot of Pokemon fans already probably knew that, though.
Yeah, a lot of fans do that.
I think it's fitting
what
that
are
they.
you saying I'm lying about now, Hutch? Like,
Yeah. He's not lying about Ash's name being Satoshi. Whoa, it's Chris Chan! I can't believe Chris Chan invaded the realm, dude.
I don't know.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I think that guy's in prison for murder. For
No, right.
severe abuse of
No,
his
he's in
parental
prison.
figure.
Not murder, incest. There's a difference.
Yeah, incest. I was gonna say rape.
Well, that's why I changed my wording to severe abuse.
Yeah.
Also, I do think that the troll in particular who got Chris Chan exposed should also be arrested for the crimes she's committed because she's done far worse things than Chris Chan. And I'm not dismissing what Chris Chan did because that was still a disgusting act, but you probably
know, right?
may or may not know who I'm talking about. Caps probably knows who I'm talking about.
Oh, I remember reading into it, and I
Isabella
wanted.
did, that's all I'm going to say her name. Because I don't
It
even want
made
to
me-
get into the crap she did, but...
It made me want to wash my eyes with bleach and possibly drink some afterwards.
Yeah.
I know.
Because the whole situation.
Same.
I am not
The
going
whole
to get
situation
into
that-
rabbit hole. I am not going to talk about that rabbit hole on this stream. Anyone in the chat who like feels like
Curious about it?
who wants to look it up, they can. But I'm not going to say it on Hunger Stream because
Because
the
yeah,
crap she did
wanna-
was so
I wanna get-
disgusting that then no, like
To summarize it, the whole situation would make even the most professional psychologists have to rewrite the Diagnostic and Statistics Manual.
yeah.
It is literally that crazy and messed up.
Yeah, the thing is, like, she reminds me of, when you hear about, like, internet lolcows, you usually just think they're really funny people, like, Justin RPG and stuff, but then you hear about complete psychopaths, or more sociopaths, really, like this girl, because she was literally willing to turn on her own friends, too, like, and that's just scratching the surface of the crap she did that I'm not going to mention. And all I'm going to say is it involves a lot of terrible animal abuse and other.
God, thinking about what she did just makes me want to vomit and throw up and then stick my head in the washer.
Yeah, it's the whole Chris Chan situation is just completely messed up. And
Yeah.
all I wanted to say is that Cap's had its skin is Chris Chan. I was just making
know.
a joke, and then
Oh, hey, nice.
Oh, Optimus Prime. Look at
Optimus
that. He
Prime's
changed to
skins
Optimus
are the
Prime.
right of all sentient beings.
it's all right, guys. It was the old Chris Chan back when he used to actually be funny.
Movies.
But yeah, Hutch was like screaming in the chat in all caps, "That's not true, you know." But there's no context there, so I don't know what he was
He's
referring to.
He's
Probably talking about the
referring to
Satoshi
the whole Miyamoto versus Satoshi thing, which
Yeah,
first of all, it was
Have
made
you not
as a
seen the
friendly
Japanese anime, bro?
rivalry
yeah.
between Nintendo and Game Freak. Is like a fun little thing that they wanted to do with the naming convention, being like, hey, they're rivals, and we'll base them off this of Shigeru Miyamoto and Satoshi Tajiri. And another reason Ash was named Satoshi Tajiri is because the whole reason Pokemon was made, the creator of the series, Satoshi Tajiri, based it off his childhood of collecting like bugs and other animals and stuff.
I think it's fitting that they, in a sideways fashion, gave Miyamoto like enduring credit with Gary's name because of the fact that Miyamoto and Iwata and a number of others at Nintendo were the ones who were helping to gestate the whole Pocket Monsters project, and it was in development late into the Game Boy's life.
Yeah, the thing about
all it took was a couple of producers to see the potential for such a project, and to continue funding it.
Here's the thing about that late into the Game Boy's life too. Pokemon had actually been in development since the mid to late 80s, believe it or not. Like there was concept art and stuff for Pokemon in the late 80s. Like it could have been an 80s game, but it took like 6 years of development because they had to keep rechanging things. And originally, Pokemon. Here's a fun fact. I'll let you. You can talk after. I just want to say one thing. You're probably going to say this too, but Pokemon was originally going to have the first two Kanto and Johto, and that was going to be it. Like it was just going to be Kanto, Johto. There were going to be around 260 Pokemon or so, and it was just going to be one project like that. But it became so popular, and they were only able to fit on like one game, so they made like Gen 3, Gen 4, and there's Pokemon you have today. But anyways, Hunger, you can...
So, here's the thing. The game was in development hell for a while, where it just wasn't getting done. And so, when it started looking like the game was in trouble and might not get finished, Nintendo actually called up one of their other studios, which the studio at the time was called Ape, and they worked on the Mother series, the Earthbound games. And they basically said, "Hey, we want you to come over and work on Pokemon with Game Freak and get it and help them get it done because they didn't think it was going to get done otherwise." So when Ape moved to Game Freak, they changed their name to Creatures. The main reason we don't have more games in the Mother series was because that they basically pulled that entire team away from doing that, and now they work on Pokemon exclusively. So
the real main reason why we don't have more Mother games is because the creator Shigesato Itoi basically said, "Nah, I'm done with making video games," because the dude is more of a Japanese Renaissance man. He's been all over entertainment and arts in Japan, and he did his stint in video games, and he's like, nah, the story of Mother is done.
It is.
So, whenever Nintendo wants to do a re-release of Mother 1 or 2, they call him up, he works out the paperwork, he gets some royalties, and that's about it.
Yeah, because Mother 3 was, the way it ends, it's pretty much like it was already meant to have been. Because the ending of Mother 3 pretty much just ties up the entire franchise. And I like it. Mother 3 also, there's a long thing about that it could turn to a whole podcast. But all I'm going to say, so it doesn't become one, is that because I love the Mother series, and I could go on and on about it. Mother 3 was originally supposed to be Earthbound 64, or Mother 64 on the Nintendo 64, and was supposed to come out only a few years after Earthbound came out, or Mother 2, but went through so much development hell that the game eventually kept getting changed, and then they eventually changed it to a GBA game. There's even some demo footage of the N64 game, and the story was going to be somewhat the same, the story about Lucas and Klaus and all that, and their family being torn apart by Porky.
I'm waiting for one of those development. I'm waiting for one of those development N64 disk drive discs to show up at an auction somewhere. And one of the main reasons why Mother 3 never made it to the N64 is because they were trying to develop it for the ill-fated 64 disk drive.
Yeah, because they had to, because the game otherwise wouldn't have been able to run on the N64. It was going to be too advanced for the regular N64. They had to. I think it was better if they waited for the GBA, but it sucks because there's still demos out there. I want to see the demos somehow get covered so we can see what there is. But originally, Mother 3 was supposed to be more of a horror game, and you can tell by the trailers for it, the trailers and stuff, and the demo footage that it does look a lot creepier. The way the Nintendo 64 models helps add to that. And also, the reason why it's supposed to be even more depressing, because like Mother 3 already has a pretty depressing story, especially for like a Nintendo game. But the story was supposed to be depressing even at the end. Like, I think it's a good thing the game kind of has like a happy, like a sad and happy at the same time ending. It still has a depressing ending, but it still ends with something good happening. But Shigesato Itoi said originally, because there's like an original script or things not a whole script, but things he would say about it is that the original Mother 3 was going to have like an ending that would make the player just feel shitty and like crappy about what happened, and make them feel like just he said the reason he changed it is he wasn't really in a good place at the time. If you want to find out more about this, just watch the more recent video on Fame Gaming, I think is the channel's name, called he does a lot of like things about dark things and otherwise games you wouldn't expect them in. But he did one on Mother 3 or Earthbound 64, like the dark secrets of it or whatever. He talks about like the development of the game, but yeah, my point being that the game, I don't even know why I brought this up. I think it might have been because you mentioned Mother series. Oh yeah, I was actually going to say though, I don't want to get into the Mother podcast, but I do want to say that, Mewtwo, for instance, I know that's why Mewtwo even exists, is because Mewtwo's design and origin story, even somewhat, to some extent, was based off of the main villain of the first two Mother games, Geeg or Gygus in the US, because Geeg is this alien. So the whole reason PSI or Psychic Powers exist in the Mother series is because in the first game, the main character of that game's great grandparents get taken away back in like the super early 1900s. Taken away in space, abducted by aliens, and are experimented on. But eventually, they, the grandmother, the wife, she comes to take care of this baby Gygus, and oh, that's good, Cass.
Nice.
So the father, however, he steals their alien race's technology and brings knowledge of Psi to Earth, and this is how characters like Ninten and Ness are born, characters who have psychic powers. But Gygus wants revenge for them stealing their technology. So Gygus comes back and wants to destroy the world, wants to destroy Earth for stealing his race's knowledge of psychic energy. And got Geeg's design for the first game that is a pale, a really light pink alien with psychic powers that Mewtwo pretty closely resembles, and Mewtwo's origin story of being experimented on by humans.
Yeah.
And even in the movie, Mewtwo wanted to get revenge on humans for experimenting on it and using its powers for their own gain.
Right.
And you could just say that's a trope that's used in a lot of experimentation things, but at least Mewtwo's design is definitely, for a fact, inspired by the main villain of the first two games.
Right.
Because also, the reason Pokemon trainers are God, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thanks. Anyways, they're based on we're actually based on Nintendo and NES's designs. 10-year young, early prepubescent boys who go on an adventure to explore and then eventually end up saving the world. And they both wear red caps.
Right.
Nintendo wore a red cap and wear somewhat red and blue get up. Red has a red hat and get up, and so does Ness. And so there were
find a lot of
some inspirations they took from the Mother series into Pokemon.
You can find a lot of recycled or expanded upon ideas if you follow pretty much anyone in the creative space long enough.
Yeah.
Case in point, I had one of these tie-in bargain books, or Wayne's World, back in the day. I think I still have this book, and in one of the pages of the book, it says something about what he has listed on his identification, and like on Wayne Campbell's passport, he says International Man of Mystery, and whenever
his occupation.
His occupation, International Man of Mystery, and also as far as sex, yes please.
Yeah.
And those are jokes that were recycled all the way into the Austin Powers series.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you're gonna find that no matter anywhere you go, you're gonna find.
I know, but I know, but my point being though, actually, I'll let you finish.
Well, I was pretty much finished with that point, but since I have the floor at the moment, I will also mention that I find it incredibly unlikely that Mother 64, if it were finished, that it would not be able to run on a Nintendo 64 console.
I know it's
Just the console itself without the disc drive, because multiple games that were going to be 64 disc drive exclusives got ported over to the cartridge port, as they were converted to just plain cartridge games as time went on, partially due to the 64 disc drive taking forever to get released and finished, because they were having trouble designing the darn thing to begin with. And also the fact that, Ocarina of Time was originally going to be a disc drive game that got ported. Kirby 64 got ported.
Yeah, I know that because I love Kirby.
So
Yeah, I know.
unless it had some revolutionary thing like massive amounts of CG movie sequences, aka FMVs, I don't see any reason, and even then, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work on the cartridge, because they ported Resident Evil 2 and all of its CG over to the N64.
I guess it could work then, maybe. My whole point being this, not necessarily the technology, but the size of the game in question. I played Mother 3, and it's a very long game. Like, it's not a suit. It's like an 80-hour RPG. Like, it's around 80 hours of content. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and for that reason, I can understand why people tend to prefer RPGs over other games.
Yeah, they're very long and very good storytelling usually. Especially like Square Enix usually does really good stories in their RPGs for the most part. Not the more modern ones, but not the more modern Final Fantasies. That is, because I'm just saying that this is Octopath. I love Octopath's story. Anyways, modern Final Fantasies suck, but all their other RPGs amazing. All their older Final Fantasies wonderful. Anyways.
Yeah,
I've
always kind of looked at my dollars per hour, as far as my entertainment economy is concerned. RPGs have always been like, oh man, buy a fighting game and be bored of it in a week. I could buy an RPG and take several weeks getting through it sometimes.
I'm a
So
huge RPG
you know.
guy, and like, even some RPGs like Disgaea can take you months.
Yeah,
because of the amount
if you
of
really
content.
grind out Disgaea and do everything in it, yeah, it could take a while. Like I've got a strategy guide for the original Disgaea game, and it looks like a freaking phone book. Anyway, like,
That's why we like Pokemon.
What's
the
a phone
Pokemon
book?
strategy
yeah, I
guides.
know.
Phone books
Anyway.
don't exist.
The funny thing is, Pokemon strategy guides are like that too, because Pokemon strategy guides.
Well, they are
they
now,
used
but
to, they used to have like the whole Pokédex of that game in them as
Yeah.
well.
yeah, now they do them in separate books, and they still look huge. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here.
Okay.
I gotta get to sleep, get a nice good night's rest, so that I can wake up tomorrow and play Digimon Survive all day. Anyway,
Hopefully we get a stream.
Oh yeah.
I can't stop myself. Okay,
Yeah, all right.
It's really good.
If we get it, if you do plan on playing it, be sure to stream it. I mean, if you're gonna do story.
Yeah, I'll probably do a little bit of grinding, and then once I'm done doing that, then I'll probably start streaming. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Super Robot Wars 30 will be later on. Why am I tripping, Caps? What did you do to me?
Caps drugged you.
Mind-altering
so-
substances are the right of all sentient beings.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good night, everybody.
so yeah, that's going to be
I'm
it for
gonna
tonight's
learn to move
podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. And of
That was
course,
a podcast of many different things.
yeah, as always, I do hope everybody has a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in. Whoa, what the? Dude, it feels like I'm drunk right now.